Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a question that's been asked to me time and time again in JFK assassination. Did JFK's limo stop? Now, I know over the years, a lot of researchers point out a lot of stuff saying, hey, JFK's limo stopped. Okay, eyewitnesses claim the vehicle stopped. Okay, but what people don't understand is, as I point out in my research, eyewitnesses read a story that's written in a magazine or in a book. They're going to say, well, I was there, so this is what I've seen. So they're going to try to basically take the information they read in the book or in a magazine, place it in their story so people makes it more believable. Okay. And also when I tell people, when you analyze a film or you analyze an image, excuse me, you need to make sure to see what generation copy it is. Is it the first-hand copy, second-hand copy? Is it the original copy? You know, you have to find all this out because after you make copies after copies after copies, things get added into a film, and then eventually the things that's added into the film as they make copies after copies after copies, they're going to pull false information from it. Excuse me. Just like JFK's limo. When I view all the films and I go over all the images, JFK's limo did not stop whatsoever. Even though people claimed JFK's limo stopped because this is what's told in eyewitness accounts. But when we watch the Zapruder film, and the reason why I point out the Zapruder film, but I'm also going to pull up another film as well, they said JFK's limo stopped. But they altered the Zapruder film to take that out as well. So see, now we got the Zapruder film being altered to hide the blow, the back hole mark in JFK's head. We have the film being altered, not showing JFK's limo stopping, and all this stuff. Okay, these are the reason why everybody wants to go back to that point of the film's altered. That's why we can't see it. Okay, so when we watch the film, okay, we're going to start it. Let's say 261, frame 261. We're going to start there. There ain't no sense of going all the beginning. As we watch it, we turn. We see there's no skips in between. And we see JFK's limo constantly moving all the way past the headshot. No stopping, as you see. No stopping whatsoever. The car's still moving. The vehicle's not stopping whatsoever. We see Clint Hill jumping on the back, then falls back and then comes back off. And as you see, the tail light right here doesn't come glowing or anything like that. Now, if we pull right here, we stop and say, hey, wait a minute, this one over here is glowing, but this one's not. That's because the sun's reflecting off of this lens here. Okay, when the sun's reflecting off this lens here, it's going to make it brighter than this side here. But when we look at this view, we're going to see that this one's glowing. That's because the sunlight's reflecting on it. And this one's in the shadow, so it's not coming on. Okay, so the limo did not stop whatsoever. And we can see that because you can see that glow all through a lot of these frames. We can see that glow even as the vehicle's still moving. Now, again, like I said, a lot of people says, well, the Zapruder film is altered. Well, let's not look at the Zapruder film for a minute. Let's go to let's say the Orville Nix film. Now, the Orville Nix film, we're going to start with frame 101. Okay, this is when JFK's name was first seen in the film. And we're going to watch it. During the headshot and after the headshot, we're going frame by frame. JFK was just shot in the head. Now, where did it stop? It did not stop, did it? The vehicle did not stop. But even look, Clint Hill trying to get on it, and it still didn't stop, did it? You didn't see that turn signal, that tail light come on, did you? That's what I'm talking about. You did not see the tail light come on. We're sitting there. Okay, this is before the headshot now. There's a tail light right there. It's not coming on. JFK was already shot in the head. As you know, the vehicle's still moving. And as you see here, tail light's not coming on. And it's a Zapruder film, when we're on this side of you, it's going to look like it's on from this section here, that on this side here, but when you're on this section, the side of the film, it's not going to look like it's on. So all you're doing is getting a reflection of the sunlight through. But as you see, no stoppage. The vehicle did not stop whatsoever. But people claim that JFK's limo stopped. Well, next thing I did was I pulled up this frame here, and I got this off the net because they were sitting there saying, you can see that brake light come on? See that brake light come on? This is from the Much More film. Okay, we see that brake light come on. You see these lines right here? Now, did that brake light really come on? Now, if you noticed it, watch out when I zoom in. You notice there's a round glow in that? Now let me show you this. Now let's get the original. Let's get a copy of the original now. Copy of the original film frame. Right here. Let us zoom in. This is a copy of the original. There's that tail light. Here we go again. Let's raise this up. We're going to zoom in. Right there. And let's bring in the other one. And let's see. There's that tail light. There's that tail light. It's not on. Is this the same frame? Yes, it's the same frame. You see these markers right here? These marks right here? These marks right here? See, same people, same motions as the cops. And the moment, you see how it's even clearer? You can actually see it more clear right here. Okay, and you see all this debris that's on the film. But the debris is gone here, so this has been touched up, and this has been touched up. And when it's touched up, that means they're altered. Okay, and you see right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to shrink this for a minute. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the GIMP program. Okay, let's raise this back up. We're going to bring up the GIMP program. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing this on camera, so people know I'm not adding nothing to it or anything else or anything like that, you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to open that up. Let's see. We're going to documents. Nope, that ain't it. Which one is it? Oh, wait a minute. I know where's that. Sorry about that. I'm going to open it up. Go to documents. This one here. Limo stop. Here we go. Let's see. It's this one right here. We're going to open this up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and invert that. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in. Okay. I'm going to zoom in a little more. Now the reason why I'm doing this, the reason why I'm doing this in front of the camera is, as you see right here, see the circle right here, which we're going to darken this up a little bit so you can see it, because what people don't know is that was added to it. See the airbrush mark right here? The whole redness is actually going past this. It's just due to contrast, brighten it up and everything else to make that light come on. Okay, they try to do this to make that light come on, which we can go to here. And we go to like this. You can see they added that into it. Okay, they add that redness into the frame, just like when they added color up in here to take out the marks that's on the film itself, but they did it right here too. Okay, they added the color to it. That's the reason why I brought the GIMP program up and show you. Okay, we got the original here. We have their fixed image right here. So now we have the original here, which we see. The light did not come on whatsoever. But then we have it over here, which we could tell this was added into it. Because if you noticed, even the red is more over here, and even some of the red is out here, which when we zoom in, what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in right here. This location right here, we're zooming in. Okay, here's the light. Here's the tail light. And here's a close-up tail light. We can see that red tint still right here where they colorized it in to make that glow, to make us believe that here's the evidence from the much more film showing that brake light come on. Then when you add that into the film and you put it in motion, it looks like it's going to come on for that split second. The way they say, oh, see, it stopped. But as we see on the original, first-hand copy from the original, that's not even glowing or anything else. It's real dark, as you see right here. But like I point out, we can see that color was added into it because we can see that redness in the circles, like someone took regular paints or whatever and trying to put that in there, because we can see the redness right here as well on the outer part here, away from JFK's limo. So JFK's limo did not stop. It did not stop because this image here, as I point out, they did some colorizing in here and here and here to take out some of them blotch marks and stuff that's on the frame. Excuse me. And we see the lady right here. And we see this. This is actually part of the babushka lady stuff. And we can see there's red tint on her bag or arm or whatever as well right here, because they colorized this in to make it look like JFK's limo stopped, which I've showed you in the Zapruder film. I showed you in the Orville Nix film. The limo did not stop. The taillights did not come on whatsoever. They did this, someone did this somewhere down the road, which is what we call altering when you look at this frames here. That's what I'm saying. When you look at these frames and you say, well, wait a minute, because you can see right here, it's not glowing. And this is two more frames down, a few more frames down, right after JFK was shot. And see, it's not glowing. Okay, but they're going to say it's glowing there. And here's how they did it, which I did this myself to show you what they did. As you see, they painted it in. This is an altered image that I put in there to show you how they did it, but they actually took regular color and put it all the way around because we could see a circle in it instead of marking it off and then bringing it back and say, hey, there's light, it's coming on. Okay, but it really didn't come on because here's the original frame right here. Okay, and we could see the light did not come on, the tail light. So you see, again, someone's out there trying to make a story, and they're going to try to falsify, which is, this is what I said when it comes to JFK assassination. A lot of people out there are falsifying a lot of documents and everything else. That's why when it comes to my research, they're going to sit there and point out to me and says, oh, well, you're falsifying this, you're falsifying that, you're putting Oswald in a Dillard image, or you're doing this, or you're doing that. No, I'm not doing none of that stuff. I'm showing you the originals right along with the colorized images. I'll show you that the only thing added in there was the color. Nothing else is added into it. People's even gone on the internet and pulled up like Mary Mormon's photo and other images and said, well, yeah, you can see them there. You can see this here. You can see that there. Okay, they're even trying to investigate me, which I don't mind. Okay, I don't mind somebody going there and says, well, let's put Leroy's research to the test. Let's see if it stands up. Let's go find this image or that image, like the Mormon photo. Let's blow it up and see if them guys are really there. And they see them, they're really there. Okay, and stuff like that. I don't mind that, okay? But what gets me is people want to put out these false information and say, hey, no, this has been altered, that been altered, but maybe some things have been altered, as I point out right here. This has been altered. The much more film's been altered just so they can make that light come on, which I showed you from the original. It never comes on. I show you in the Orville Nix film. I show you in the Zapruder film. The limo kept on moving and never stopped. The story came out first. Hey, it was stopped. So some researcher down the road went ahead and took one frame like this, still shot of the frame, color it in a little bit with paints, which you could do that with paints, and then go ahead, add it to the film, says, see the light, come on. Okay, just take one frame out and do that. It's easy to do. But you can see how the colors are. The color's more brighter and stuff. They had to make it brighter, especially if you look at Gina Hill's coat, how it's really bright, bright red now. It's because they had to make it bright, bright red, because they even got the babushka ladies, her babushka, or scarf, what do you want to call it, more of a red tint color, more of a red tint color here, which shows us that there was color, red tints was added to this frame. We see the pink is more of a reddish color. We see more red on the back of Mrs. Kennedy here. We see this guy's shirt up here is more red right up in here. Okay, they had to brighten these colors up and everything else so they can get this light over here to glow, which it never glowed to begin with. All right, but they want to tell us it was glowing so to prove their case. And that's why I said when it comes to when I was analyzing images and films and everything else, a lot of things I had to look over. And people don't understand that. That's why I said sometimes there was altering done, but the altering wasn't done on the original films or the copies of films. Some things were added on as years go by a researcher or something else to prove their fact, to back up their theory. Okay, I'm pointing this out. You know, people can sit there and say, well, what about you, Leroy? What about you, Mr. Blevins, or whatever? You know, you're showing this. Like I sit there and I tell people, you can either believe my research or you don't. But why would I be pointing these facts out? I have to point these facts out. Okay, everybody else wants to do a cover up. I don't believe in doing no cover ups. I mean, believe everybody should know the truth in everything. Someone asked me a question. Did the limo stop? No, the limo didn't stop. Can you prove it never stopped? Which I just got done proving it never stopped. Then why did the light glow or something? You know, I come up with them questions of why did that light glow when we watched much more film? But when we watch the much more film, it doesn't come on. What we see is an image that someone made up. So altering has been done now, hasn't it? Into this film. And it's easy to alter something like this, blurry it, because it's a blurry frame and you begin with anyway. It's always a blurry frame. And it's easy to manipulate a little bit into a frame. Okay, but not too much. But when you go back to the originals, that's why I tell people when you're going to do a case like this, you want to work on a case like this, don't go on basing any research on copies after copies after copies after copies, because that stuff gets added to it. But if you go by the first-hand copies from the originals, either originals, get a copy of the original yourself, or have a first-hand copy of the original, then you can work on it because both of them are identical. Then you can work on it, then you can show it, then you can go over it and say, well, you know, whatever you find, stuff you're going to find in there. But if you make a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th copy, and then so on and so on, you're going to find artifacts that's added into the film or taken out of the film, and you're going to find all that stuff. Okay, that's why I always tell people, you're going to work on films, you're going to work on images, work on first generation copies or from the original copy. Do not work on or try to research a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. Find out what kind of copy it is first, whether it's a sixth generation copy, second hand generation copy, first hand generation copy. See what generation copy that is first. If it's anywhere from three or I'm going to say from one or over. If you go to second generation copy, a third generation copy, fourth generation copy, don't even bother working on them because things will be added on to that as it goes along. You work on the original or a first-hand copy of the original. That's what you want to look at. That's what you want to view. Okay, that's what you really want to work with. You don't sit there and go on other copies or everything else because you don't know what was added to it until you see the original. And when you watch original and you see the one that you're viewing and stuff, you can say, okay, well, this is added to it when they made a copy, or this was added to it, or this was added to it. You know, that's a longer process. I want to make this video here because the question was asked, did the limo stop? No, the limo did not stop. That was just another false claim put out there to sell the story. And I hate keep on bringing that up and say just to sell a story. But people's got to know the truth when it comes to JFK assassination. Don't forget that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Share this video, my other videos on your social medias and stuff so other people knows this information. Always in the description down below. You'll find us out where you can order my book, Evidence of Conspiracy, on paperback or Kindle. It's on Amazon. Only book you ever need in JFK assassination. Thank you, and you have a pleasant day.